The bells of waiting Advent ring. The tortoise stove is lit again, and lamp oil light across the night has caught the streaks of winter rain in many a stained glass window pane, from crimson lake to hooker's green. The holly in the windy hedge, and round the manor house the yew will soon be stripped to deck the ledge, the altar, font, and arch and pew, so that the villagers can say the church looks nice on Christmas Day. Provincial public houses blaze, the corporation tramcars clang. On lighted tenements I gaze, where paper decorations hang, and bunting in the red town hall says, "Merry Christmas to you all." And London shops on Christmas Eve are strung with silver bells and flowers, as hurrying clerks the city leave to pigeon-haunted classic towers, and marbled clouds go scudding by the many-steepled London sky, and girls in slacks remember Dad, and oafish louts remember Mum, and sleepless children's hearts are glad, and Christmas morning bells say come, even to shining ones who dwell safe in the Dorchester Hotel. And is it true, and is it true, this most tremendous tale of all, seen in a stained glass window's hue, a baby in an ox's stall, the maker of the stars and sea, become a child on earth for me? And is it true? For if it is, no loving fingers tying strings around those tissued fripperies, the sweet and silly Christmas things, bath salts and inexpensive scent, and hideous tie so kindly meant. No love that in a family dwells, no caroling in frosty air, nor all the steeple-shaking bells can with this single truth compare, that God was man in Palestine and lives today in bread and wine.
discussion and overview of cultural dissidence, bringing the best and the newest together in a unique annual showcase.
Just pretend it says Moody-yule, okay?
And now, here is your host,
Chief Moody. All right, I'll close that now. I'm just trying to get a Christmas special theme type of episode, and I'll just get back onto here. All right, cool. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 131, the second annual Christmas special, and possibly, hopefully not the only, first ever Moody-yule episode of Mood of the Nation podcast. Hope everyone's doing well. Don't know what happened there. Must be the cable thing. I don't really need this anymore. Anyway, so yeah, how's everyone doing? I do apologize for being a bit late. I do apologize. Well, I don't know if I actually was late, in fact, but I know there was a bit of a long stretch of an opening. But again, because it's the 22nd of December, so only 3 days until Christmas, and I thought, as I said on the previous episode, that tonight would be the Christmas special type of episode, even though it doesn't seem really Christmassy where I'm at the moment. But just been pretty busy as of late regarding to that. So I hit like on both me accounts. That's fair enough. Thank you very much. So yeah, definitely hit the like button just to support this channel, and that would be much appreciated. Now, I'm just gonna have a look and see who's in the chat just now. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat at the moment here. So let me see who's here at the moment. So that's my response to Linda Hunter in the chat earlier on, basically wishing me a Merry Christmas and of course a Happy New Year when it comes, which of course I've responded back to her with that. Greatly appreciate that. We have Gamma Sandwich in the chat. Thank you very much for watching. English Rose is with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Sorry, excuse me, Albion Forever is with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. English Weather is with us. Thank you very much. Albion Forever, just real quick, got banned from the vile vloggers, quote-unquote, comments for asking him why he platformed a transvestite. Yeah, I did, I'll be honest, I did catch that episode because I noticed that Scrump Monkey was in that. So for those that don't know, from what I remember, Scrump Monkey is one of those Sargons, or Sargonite milk-fed gimps types. Part of the whole skeptic sphere or whatever you want to call it. I remember him at the time when, what's that guy's name? Short Fat Otaku tried to dox Mr. Metaker, or claimed he had Mr. Metaker's docs. But then he said, I got Mr. Metaker's docs, but I'm not going to show it on stream or anything like that at all. It's like, you're so transparent. So yeah, that's how I remember Scrump Monkey, because he was kind of part of the whole crowd of, show your face, Jim, show your face, Mr. Metaker, what you got to hide, those types of douchebags. But anyway, thank you for again, Albion Forever, for coming into the chat. Amanda Lee is with us. Merry Christmas to all you lovely people. 14, thank you very much, Amanda, and Merry Christmas to you too. Roy Herbert is with us as per usual. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation and asking if he gave them the duration break. Oh, I did not know that. Well, anyway, let me see. Inshallah to you too, Tricky Bacon. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Tricky Woo, I've already mentioned you already at the moment, but thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. The Woodlander is here. Well, he's saying just jumping in to say hi and hit the like button. Fair enough, Woodlander. Thank you very much for appearing in the chat. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you too. Hopefully you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes. Who else is with us? I did see Aunt Sally is with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. I keep forgetting this Christmas is 3 days. Well, it's funny with me because it doesn't really feel Christmassy this year. I don't know if it's maybe like an age thing, but I remember when I was a lot younger, even though when I was a bit of a teenager, I remember I would still get pretty excited for Christmas. But now it's just like, it's just really another holiday for me at this point, isn't it? I think it's mainly because of two things. It's maybe age. And I think the problem with at least modern day Christmas, to me at least, is that it's a lot more, or it's too corporate than what it's supposed to be, which is a time of celebration and spending time with your family and friends and all of that, appreciating what you have at the moment in your life and all of that. But nowadays it seems like, what seems to be the popular product at the moment, and I need to get that for my son or daughter. It's like, That's you just ruined the what made Christmas, that type of idea. St. Harrison is in the chat with us. Thank you very much for watching Moody the Nation. Greatly appreciate you being here. Let me see. Is there any more? I think there should be. Hasdag is with us. Thank you very much for watching Moody the Nation. Lester Boyle, thank you very much for watching Moody the Nation. And Merry Christmas to you too as well. Thank you very much for being here. Scrum was great when Jay Burden interviewed him a few days ago. Can recommend. Fair enough. It's just I don't really trust any of those like former skeptic types. I just get a, I don't know. But I can maybe have a watch of that and then see from there. But and then tell you guys what you think later on. So anyway, who else is with us? Joe Marsh is with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Thank you very much for coming along into the chat. If you don't know what delation is, trust me, you don't want to know. That's fair enough. Let's see. Adam Miller is with us. Cannot believe how fast this year has gone. Merry Christmas, Chief, and all. Merry Christmas to you too, Adam. I know it's been I keep saying this every single year, but this year has been pretty quick, and also I think the last couple of years to me have been pretty quick, which is quite scary when you look back on it. But anyway, John, pal, MBE, Merry Christmas, you big bushy bastard. Merry Christmas to you too, John, and thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Let me see. So I think that's up to date with the chat so far. There's 20 people watching the show already, which I greatly appreciate that. And also appreciate the people who shared the stream today. I saw St. Harrison shared the stream. Thank you very much, brother. Mark Collett shared the stream, which I greatly appreciate that. And yeah, so I think we're going to do like a slight casual more stream that did this episode. That there hasn't really been any more articles that came up. I mean, there has been, but I just kind of thought that because tonight's episode will be more like a very laid back, more relaxed type of Christmassy type of episode, I thought maybe we'll do like a slight, somewhat of a Q&A, and then and I know I did say this earlier on that I say that I was going to do the show earlier on, or start the show earlier than usual, but I couldn't really manage to do that. However, in that post on Telegram, I did say that I was going to have a bit of an open panel tonight, so it might be a bit of a gamble on my part, but you know what? Again, it's that time of year. Hopefully, it's not going to be much of a shit show, which I doubt that would be. But yeah, I might as well open the chat for some of the guys watching the show right now. To be fair, Chief, his camera was off, so I didn't know he was a darn ginger. Fair enough. Laura and PA back on Twitter, so that's some good news for a change. Yeah, it was really good news. It's nice to see that Laura and, well, I don't know if Laura would really be happy about being back on Twitter, but it's nice to see Laura, the official PA Twitter account, as well as Horace is back on Twitter as well. I think, was it them three, or was it maybe another person? Because I know that No Chance did a video about this recently where he was talking about how much of a white pill this is, which to be fair it is a bit of a white pill moment regarding to that. So yes, it's good to see them coming back. Hopefully more people will be coming back, although I did see a post from, I think it was Laura or the official PA Telegram channel, basically talking about that there's a lot of Twitter accounts that are going through the reinstatement process, I think it's called. So let's hope that maybe this is a sign that a lot more of these accounts are going to be coming back. So let's hopefully see that Mark Collett might come back on Twitter. Hopefully more people will be coming back on Twitter. We'll definitely wait and see with that. A big platform to get the message out is still a win for however long it lasts. Yeah, indeed, I agree with that. I agree. Although I used to be on the fence of like, well, I mean, why is people? I mean, Twitter at this point in time has become a very left-leaning, very anti-white type of platform. Like, what's even the point at this point in time? But then I can see that a lot of the people would say, well, it's a much bigger platform, so obviously the bigger the platform is, the more reach we would get with our message going towards the bigger mass public. And I was like, all right, I can maybe see that. So, that's a fair point to make. Oh yeah, Bonnieland is back on Twitter as well. I did see that as well. So that's pretty really a white pilling thing to do. Still waiting on the appeal for my old account. Wow, I thought Harrison would be back on Twitter, but there we go. He's still waiting for that appeal to drop for his Twitter. So it seems a lot of people are slowly but surely coming back. So we'll just need to wait and see even more with that. What other thing to mention before? In fact, there's a couple of things I want to mention before we start. If I can share the link for like an open panel type of thing. So of course, Entropy is live. It looks like it's up and running at the moment, which is really good to see. So if there's any questions you want to ask me throughout the show with the Entropy, then you can see the pinned comment in the chat just there. Obviously, if you want to ask me a question, be it paid or unpaid question, you can just put those questions in the Entropy link just now. Or again, if you want to donate to me, you can, without using Entropy, you can donate to me either through Buy Me a Coffee, which is the link for that will be in the description down below. And I don't have the link here at the moment, but if you don't want to do that for whatever reason, then the other link alternatively would be PayPal. If you're fine with that in this case, of course, even with that, please don't feel obligated as if you have to donate or anything like that at all. If you would want to donate because you want to support the show, then I would greatly appreciate any donation coming through regarding to that. So I'll post a PayPal link maybe later on, but again, that's only if you really want to donate or anything like that at all in this case. And even English Rose has posted the Entropy link in the chat again, which I greatly appreciate that. So thank you very much for that. So with that, I'm going to see if I can post a link in the chat just now. So at any point, if there's anybody who wants to come in and maybe have a short chat or anything like that at all, then just feel free to do so. Let me see, because again, this is only going to be a very laid back type of show, and anything major with that. And of course, as I mentioned, you can talk about whatever you want when it comes to it. I thought that said Elton John had died for a minute for Joe Marsh. Actually, just real quick before I get into that, actually, in terms of the and also English Rose posted Buy Me a Coffee link in the chat. Thank you very much, English Rose. Greatly appreciate that. I was going to say as well, but just before we move on, I'll also mention this again towards the end of tonight's show, but I'll mention this here as well. As I mentioned on the previous episode, before this being like the Christmas special, after tonight's episode, I'm going to take a small break. I think Mark even made a point about this with PWR, but same with Mark, I'm going to take a small break from now up until, after tonight's episode, of course, from now up until maybe early January, maybe mid-January. I'm not entirely too sure, but there's going to be a lot of plans going on regarding to that time. Now, during that time frame, I'm going to be posting a couple of videos, one on the 29th of December, which I'll mention why maybe on that day regarding to that. It'll be a bit of a surprise kind of thing. And I'll also be posting a short little snippet clip or video on the 31st of December. So that would be, of course, New Year's Eve, or maybe Hogmanay if you're living in Scotland. And of course, you understand why that would be the case. It's basically just like a short message type of video, like, oh, this is, Happy New Year type of thing. So, just thought I'd mention that in this case. So, again, I'll mention this at the end of tonight's episode, and of course, we'll see with that from there. So, and also to mention regarding to that as well, I'm pretty sure you might have heard this on last night's PA Talk, but there's going to be a bit of a revamp going on with some of the content creators within PA. So, you'll probably see the changes coming along, and they'll probably make an announcement and more about it in January time, round about then. And you'll probably see a lot of the changes going on in January or maybe start of February, but we'll definitely wait and see with that. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that real quick regarding to the future episodes regarding to that. So let me just get the link for the stream I'm on just now, and then again, this would be like an open panel, so if you want to come in and chat, then you're very welcome to do so. And I really hope it doesn't turn into a shit show, but again, we'll see with that. So let me just post a link just now, and anyone wants to come in, they are very welcome to. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1. There we go. There's the StreamYard link. Again, if as an open panel, people want to come in for a chat, or even for a bit, or maybe for the entirety of the episode, it's entirely up to yourselves. I might be maybe taking a gamble here, but again, I think it should be all right, since it is the Christmas episode type of event tonight anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of a hassle or anything with that at all. So it should be fine. Just checking entropy is still running live. That's good to see. That's fine and dandy. That's all right. Anything Telegram wise? Not at the moment. That's fine. All right. Let me see. Have a check through Twitter as well. Don't think really much anything's going on at the moment. As I said, it's been pretty quiet past couple of days. So, so Wesley's going to be live at 7. That's completely fine. I'll finish the stream at 7 tonight as planned. That's fine. Dandy. Right. Okay, cool. No worries. All right. All right. Okay. No worries. Close that. I don't really need that now. All right. Well, while I'm waiting for that, I might as well see if I can find an article that came to my attention earlier on. Oh, but damn it! What page did I see it on? That's the thing. Well, there was actually something on Twitter, and I think it's to do with Scottish politics. Now, I'm gonna have a look and see if I can have a look into this as well, and then see from there. Scottish Nonce Party. Yeah, this might be to do with it. Right, let's have a look at this. So, breaking news, the UK government is investigating whether to block the Scottish government's gender recognition reforms. So, if you're wondering what that's about, basically, let me just see if I can find a tweet that's relating to that. Let me see, maybe this might be to do with that. The Scottish Nonce Party, or the Scottish National Party, wants these lovely lady blokes in with their children, disabled, elderly relatives when they're at their most vulnerable. They prioritize perverted desires and wishes for validation over safeguarding and human rights. So, in case you're wondering what this is all about, I'm going to see if I can find something about this. Basically, as it says, Scottish transgender law will let children as young as 15 begin a reassignment process. I think it was something like 16 years old or something like that, but basically they did pass that. So basically, in Scotland, if you're somebody who is at the age of 16 or over, or and if you want to go through some kind of a gender reassignment, so if you were born a woman but want to change your gender to a man, or vice versa, then basically you have complete carte blanche to do that if you wanted to. So that's basically what the law is about. And of course, there's a lot of people are talking about this. Very divisive type of topic. One second here. I might as well also share the page on Twitter just now, because like I said, there's a lot of people talking about this at the moment here. Let me see here if I can get this up just now. So the Twitter thread I'm on just now is hashtag Scottish Nonce Party, because the SNP are basically a bunch of nonsense at this point. Not really much of a surprise there, but I think we all know at this point they really are. It's mostly definite at this point here. I think the estimated number of trans in Scotland is 0.5% of the population. What is the real reason any man who self-identifies differently on any given day may use a woman's toilet, changing room, or safe space? Yeah, because they're basically pedophiles at this point. Yeah. Sorry, just checking something in a moment. That's fine. This privileged woman doesn't care if women and children are attacked. Wait, what's this? So the original tweet that this woman retweeted about is: the Tories should be ashamed of their cynical attempts to filibuster the GRR bill. We've also heard disgraceful dog whistles and smears towards the trans community today. Despite all of this, we will pass GRR and create a more inclusive Scotland. What an absolute nonsense. Anyway, in fact, Maggie Chapman. Wait, is that the same woman who basically talked about how the far right, or the white supremacists or neo-Nazis would never engage in a debate, and they would keep inside their own little safe spaces? But then, of course, one of us actually challenged her to a debate. We're just like, hey, well, we're up for a debate if you want to do that. And of course, she was like Maggie Chapman. I think it might be the same politician, but basically, it's the same one who was like, "Oh, I'm not going to platform a fascist or something like that." So basically, they were talking all kinds of smack, but then when push comes to shove, they basically showcase their true exact colors, which no surprise there. Let's see. Look at all the clapping, laughing seals in the SNP and Green seats, laughing that they have put women, girls, and kids under 18 at risk. They're enablers of abuse. I mean, they are. They really pretty much are at this point. And any other ones? What the hell is that? Anyway, so amazing to see the SNP and the Greens doubling down in their protection of sex offenders over women and blaming protesters for it. Satan rubbing his hands with glee on this day. I mean, I don't think it's Satan. I think it's another type of person who would be rubbing their hands, but that's beside the point. Anyway, so yeah, that's them past the. I think it's called the Gender Reassignment Recognition Bill. I think that's what it's called. Oh no, sorry, it's called the Gender Recognition Reform Bill. That's what it's called, and that's what's been passed in the Scottish government. Minimum age for applying to change the gender in Scotland lowered to 16 as controversial reform bill passes. So, of course, a lot of the progressive types might think of this as like a big win for progressivism or whatnot, but it just, again, it really goes to show that the people behind this bill are just complete nonsense and potential pedophiles. But anyway, here's an article about this from Sky News. I might as well just get into this right now. Scotland passes controversial legislation that makes it easier to legally change gender. Opponents argue that the changes fail to protect women's rights in single-sex spaces and could allow violent males to abuse the system, but the Scottish government says it is essential to make the process quicker and easier. And this article was published today. And of course, you see all of them just clapping like complete absolute speds, but that's to be expected from the SNP and the Greens and all of that. Actually, I think I did see maybe a video for this. Let's see, in Twitter. Let me see if I can find it again. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Here we go. Right, I might as well just play this.
MSPs have been sitting in this chamber after midnight for the past 2 days in a row. On Tuesday, as the Stage 3 gender recognition debate was underway, one woman was thrown out of the gallery and another law-abiding woman was threatened with arrest. Legislation rushed, criticism ignored and women silenced. Does the First Minister agree that events of this week have reflected badly on this bill's passage through Parliament?
First Minister, I think some of the elements of our proceedings this week have reflected badly on the Conservative Party. Neither.
Yeah, clap like seals.
Thank you.
I mean, look, here's the thing, folks, right? I'm not a fan of the Scottish Tories by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're just as bad, because they're really not conservative by any means. But I mean, it's a very valid point to make what that woman did say about, like, this is going to be set a very dangerous precedent regarding to that. But and you just see all the Green Party members and all the SNP members were just like, oh yeah, we're very progressive and all that. It's like, shut up. Hate that cow. I know DJ. Like, she really needs to go. She really needs to resign and no longer be the First Minister of Scotland. But anyway, so I do see a guest in the stage just now. I'm just going to bring him into the chat or into the stream in a moment. So here we have St. Harrison. I'll just get him in here just now. Hello, St. Harrison. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you very much. I'm just kind of excited for Christmas, but as I said at the beginning of the show, it doesn't really feel like Christmassy to me, but I don't know if that's maybe the age kicking in or I don't know, maybe something to that effect. But yeah, that's me. But yeah, have you finished your Christmas shopping or anything like that at all?
I have one more thing to collect. I think I put a note on Telegram yesterday because I think everything's online now. So if you can't get it in the shop, you've got to order it online. Right. And it was due to arrive on Wednesday. So I thought I'll go on the live chat. 5 consecutive foreigners don't understand English yet work for an English company. I was getting fucking annoyed. I was close to just walking down the shop and doing a racism in the store. But no, they've promised me it will arrive tomorrow. So no. And then I just need to do the wrapping. So I thought I'd pop in for just 5 minutes. See how everyone is. Fuck off.
Yeah. No, that's completely fair. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the show tonight, it's going to be a very chilled, very laid back type of episode. So I have posted. If I DJ even asked in the chat, is this like an open panel? It is DJ. So the link is in the chat just now. Again, if you want to come in for a short chat, then by all means go right ahead if you want to. And yeah, we're just gonna wait and see what happens. So again, if people want to come in for maybe a short period or maybe for the entirety of the show, that's entirely up to yourselves if you want to. As I said, this will be an open panel for tonight, and we'll see how it goes. So as I said, I really do hope it doesn't become like a shit show or anything like that at all. Some spurky fucking douchebag comes in and is just like, whoa, PU or a cult. It's like, okay, that's great.
Doing the salutes.
Yeah, I know, right? I like doing like the certain salutes. Yeah, hopefully they don't.
What, like
do
if
that.
I turned and pointed to the angel on the like that?
Dear. You can imagine all the hate watchers coming in and we're just like, oh no, if you think PA talk is bad, then watch the Mood of the Nation. This is even worse.
Pointing to an angel.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
So how's your year been, Moody? Because you started off the year doing your first speech, didn't you?
I did, yes. I mean, this year has been pretty. I mean, as per usual, it's been up and down. Some good times, some bad times, but that's that's a given for everybody.
yeah.
Like usually, everyone has like a good year or a bad year, but I think overall it's been a pretty decent year. Hopefully, next year, maybe not just for myself, but a lot of other people, it'll be a much better year. I think it will be interesting for next year in terms of politics because as we know that 2023 is just around the corner, and of course, a year after we got 2024. We got
done.
Yeah, I know, right? Which is I know a big brain moment. So
they're not all thick in Scotland.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're not all thick here. We're not all thick. We're pretty smart people in Scotland. But in 2024 we do have the upcoming presidential election, so you know that there's going to be a lot more gearing up for that for next year. So that's going to be pretty interesting. What's going to be happening with that, especially what we've seen earlier, maybe a couple of months ago with Ye or Kanye West has been a lot more vocal as of late, especially on his infamous Infowars episode he was on. So, but besides that, it's going to be really interesting. And I know I even talked about this on my show about Donald Trump starting off some trading cards, NFTs or whatever it is. Like,
isn't it?
It's just like talk about being completely what's the phrase
He's
out
just
of touch,
isn't he?
yes, yeah, it's very out of touch. You just think like America is going through a really tough time at the moment, especially with the Joe Biden administration and all of that. And he seemed to think that the solution to that problem would be to sell trading cards for like, what was it, $90 a piece or something like that.
And you win a meeting with Trump though, possibly.
Well, yeah, of course. Maybe a possible meeting in like a golf course or something like that. It's like, okay, great, that's fantastic. But again, how is this going to help solve the problems America is facing right now? But yeah,
Well, it's not, is it?
It's
you can
not.
tell
No.
he doesn't know what he's doing either, because in the advert you can tell he's just reading off something someone else has written for him. He hasn't got a clue what NFTs are. It's
Right.
just like, this will make you money, Donald. Just try it.
It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, okay. In fact, even Woodlander in the chat just now even said they sold out. They sold out though. So yeah, there's people that are already buying that. So it's just like those people. I would tend to question like if they think that's what's going to solve what America is going through, then I think America is completely lost at this point. But no, I mean it's.
And we've got our election in 2024 as well, haven't we? When we can finally get rid of the Conservatives, but then
right. That's well. Even if that's the case, that's going to be even again really interesting with that, because I think at this point in time, and I don't know if you might agree with this or not, Harrison, but I think a lot of people are just getting really just sick and tired with the current Tory government. Because I mean, there's nothing really conservative about them whatsoever. So,
right.
Do you think if that election does come ahead, do you think it would be maybe better for us or maybe worse for us if it were to be like a Labour majority vote?
I think it's going to be a Labour majority anyway.
Right.
And it will just be 4 years of, well, it's going to be the same shit. It's not going to be any different because we know what they want. They're more honest about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And by then, no one's going to forget the amount of money spunked up the wall by the Conservatives. They're already annoyed about that. People are slowly and even normies are getting annoyed by the immigration. And then Labour are just going to bring more in. So by 2028, and yeah, it's a long time away, it'll go quickly. By then, hopefully we would have been accepted and we can swoop in. Obviously, that's pipe dreams, but you never know, because when people are up against the wall, they'll choose anything to get out of the shit.
Yeah, I know. I think it's
We can drive around in our deportation vans.
right. Yeah, I also do think that if Labour does get, well, I think it's going to be Labour. Yeah, regardless. I think when it comes to immigration, it will be far worse under Labour than it would be with the Tories. But I think with that being done, I think it will definitely open up to a lot more people basically thinking that, you know what, there really is no political solution. There really is
I'm not
no
wanking. I'm playing with a cat.
No, that's all right. I was just thinking it would definitely open up a lot more people to think that there's really no political solution. Well, maybe there is, but not in terms of like the mainstream politicians, because they clearly do not represent the current general public at this point. So we might never know. Maybe it might open up that door for people to come into nationalism, but then again, there is that other thing that what might be in the way from people to maybe go into our side would be, of course, might be a bit of a cliche to say at this point, but of course, the civic nationalists, whether it be like Nigel Farage or like the Reform Party or like Lawrence Fox and all of that. But again, I think it's just a case of if people see their true colors, that maybe people might come over to our side regarding to that. But again, it's just only time will tell with that. But
if people are moving over that way even slightly, it means they're getting closer to where we are.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't take much, really, for people to go from civic nationalist to our position. So if we have to spend 4 years with the Reform Party, say, it won't take much for them to go, well, actually, this isn't strong enough. We need something else. So it could work in our favour.
Yeah, no, you're right with that. Yeah, because I think a lot of us started off as civic nationalists. I know I started as a civic nationalist, and then of course moved over to ethno-nationalism because I just thought it made a lot more sense. So yeah, you're right. Maybe it could be a bit more beneficial for us if they were to come in, and then once they see the civic nationalist side basically just acting like, wait, they're not really exactly acting what they claim to be, but
why is all these Israel flags everywhere?
Yeah, right. It's just like, wait a minute, I'm for Britain. Like, I mean, I'm nothing against Israel, but what's going on here? Is like, wait, are you anti-Semitic, mate? It's like, no. But anyway, so there was a comment come through in the chat by Ugly Truth, basically saying, so St. Harrison is a catty boy. I'm assuming maybe he thinks you're like a cat boy or something like that, but
no, it's we've got this 8-month-old kitten that's attacking. He's a regular in the videos. And then the gook.
No. Oh, no, Harrison. As mentioned on PA Talk, like you can't say that, son.
It's another name for Siamese.
Well, I mean, still, but it's not like it's not. Dear. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. Michael, what was this from Spiffy? Oh, no, I better not read that. That's fine. From Woodlander, just in the chat real quick, he writes, I can't see how it gets worse. It will just continue along globalist lines towards Agenda 2030. Yeah, fair point. I can see that. Yeah. Martin W, real quick. Labour will finish the job and will bankrupt this country for good. I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that again. Just checking entropy. There's nothing come through with that. That's completely fine. Johnny Not Powell MBE is talking, saying, tell the cat what your pronouns are, see if it slaps you. Dear.
The cat regularly slaps me, but not for pronouns, just because they go, a bit overexcited. Usually about 5 o'clock in the morning when they want feeding.
Oh, right. No, I think that's more of a reference to like a video I think I did see where someone was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
my pronouns are this and this," and the cat just basically just bitch slapped them. It's like,
Deserved.
yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. So, right, I do see another gentleman in the green room just now, so I'm seeing if I can maybe bring them in here just now if they're ready. I think they're ready to go. So I think I'm just going to bring them into the stream just now. It is Resisting the Lies, aka DJ.
How's it going?
How you doing? Yeah, no bad. How you doing? Thank you very much for coming along onto the show.
I thought I would face talks, yeah.
Yeah, I see the Viva Vendetta mask, but I mean, but you're in front of a camera, so that's pretty good to see. So
Everyone's so desperate to see my luscious locks, so I thought, why not?
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but yeah, it's good to see you coming along, DJ. So, how's your Christmas? Well, I know it's not Christmas at the moment, but how's your Christmas shopping getting along so far?
Least said about that, the better. Like,
Right.
I'm waiting for the Boxing Day sales. I bought what I need to buy for sort of immediate family, yeah, but like cousins and stuff, they can fuck off. They'll get stuff for Boxing Day. You know what I mean? Not made the money, yeah. I've only because I got a job, proper like on the books job, like 2-3 weeks ago. So we only started to earn some decent because I've been with you're with agency yourself, ain't you, Steve?
At the moment, yeah. Well,
yeah, I've been stuck with them since I was 21. I'm 27 now, and like honest, no. Finally got an on the books job, like on the building sites for a trade. But 3 weeks ago, so I'm earning decent money now. So, but no, my cousins, they can wait. You know what I mean? What about yourself? Because I didn't catch it. I stream cut you at the start. My mistake. Yeah. I had to get some stuff off my chest, like about critical race theories. So I don't know if you've already elaborated on. If you've bought stuff for your family or whatnot, like
I was just going to mention, like, with regard to I'll start off with the Christmas shopping thing. I think everything has all been done at the moment, so it's not like there's anything I've not missed out or anyone or anything like that at all. So that's all been out of the way. I was briefly talking about the recent news with the Scottish Parliament, and I don't know if you've seen this already, but basically the Scottish government have passed a controversial legislation, which is called the Gender Reform Recognition Bill, I think it's called. It might be the other way around. So, but since you're on the show, and I know that you're very anti-SNP. I know you make a lot of great videos on your channel like talking about the SNP. So was this something that you've heard just now, or maybe because it might be interesting maybe to give your take on the whole thing? But
because it went on for so long, because it went on, it was Tuesday night. It went on till like 12 at night. Then it went on again until like 11:30 last night. And then it got past today. It was too much for me to watch in its entirety, like because I clip stuff like from the Parliament all the time, but it was just too much for me. Like, because I'm not, all right. But I've got a screenshot on my phone here, right? The Scottish Parliament. This was on Tuesday night. The Scottish Parliament voted 59 to 64 against an amendment that would have prevented registered sex offenders from being able to self-identify under the proposed gender recognition bill, right? So effectively, a tranny can change sex, like if they're a sex offender, they can change sex and whatnot. And this bill now allows them to do that. There was an amendment that was put into place to prevent these people from doing that. So you're going to see a lot more men going into female prisons now under the guise of being trannies.
Right.
And this is our Scottish nationalist government.
Yeah.
They're nationalist, Chief. Come on.
Well, nationalist, yeah, quote unquote.
This is what we're dealing with here. But no, it's the thing that annoys me about the Scottish Parliament is the fact that they love the Scottish Nationalist Party, love to brag about democracy, but yet 4 out of the 5 major parties within Holyrood are all very left-leaning. So the only sort of pushback that this bill was getting in the run up to the bill being debated, quote unquote, and debate is a laughable term because it's just people saying, well, I want this bill to pass because I like people with pronouns in their bios. And then the next person will come and go, I agree, etc. But the only pushback was coming from the Tories, right? And the Tories in Westminster and the Tories in Scotland, they're two different entities in many respects because the Scottish Tories, to their credit, they actually do push back on things that matter. But it doesn't mean anything because nothing that they push back against means fuck all because the rest of the parties are all very left leaning. So it passed with flying colours. You could have put a bet on that in any bookie, months ago. We all knew that was going to happen. But here we are. So, but the worst part about it is the fact that they did a consultation on this. They did the same thing they did with the hate crime bill in Scotland. They did a consultation on this. The vast majority of the Scottish public that participated in this consultation did not want this. The same way that they didn't want the hate crime bill. The same way that they didn't want the adaptations to the hate crime bill pertaining to misogyny. Right? So that's three separate entities or three separate incidents, that I can think of in recent memory where the public at large in Scotland have been asked an opinion and the SNP have ignored it and just gone with it anyway. Why? Because they know they can pass it because the vast majority of the parliament is left wing and they all have got their wee puppet strings pulled by the likes of Klausy Swubby and the rest of these dickheads like Antonio Guterres, etc. Because they're United Nations puppets. That's all they are. The Holyrood needs to go. It really does need to go, but no. So I'm not surprised by this. So now we have 16-year-olds in Scotland can now change their gender.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, I honestly, when I saw the news earlier on, I wasn't really that much surprised either, which I know that might sound a bit messed up, but again, it is Scotland. Our own government is so left-leaning to the point where it's become a massive joke in and of itself. You just really cannot take it seriously. So you think, well, if they're going to pass that, then what else are they going to pass at this point? And I think what they've passed just now, I think is only just going to open the door for more degeneracy coming through. So I wouldn't be surprised at some point they're going to try, and I know that this will not be the first time they try to do this, but I know they try to do it multiple times in the past, but I wouldn't be surprised at some point if the SNP or basically the Scottish government in its entirety will at some point try to normalize stuff like pedophilia or like any kind of horrible degeneracy whatsoever. I mean they've done this, so which of course that might open the doors for all kinds of possibilities, but that do tie into that. So if they're doing that, then there's no much of a surprise that anymore that they'll try and normalize all that kind of stuff in the near future.
Right. I have to nip off now before you carry on.
No worries. Well, thank you very much, Sting Harrison, for coming along on the show. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Everyone have a good Christmas. My Christmas video will be out probably Saturday, and Chief Moody is in it.
Oh, based. I can't wait for that. I'll definitely
Take care, everyone.
Same to yourself, Sting Harrison. You take care. Bye. Right, let's see. I'll move him just now. He's gone. Okay, perfect. Well, that was St. Harrison. I greatly appreciate him coming along on the show. That was great. And of course, with me just now is Resisting the Lies, or DJ, who is a known Scottish content creator who produces a lot of great content, mainly talking about the SNP. We just had a chat about that just now in terms of the recent bill that just been passed here in Scotland, which of course is really not much of a surprise anymore because it's what can you really say to it at this point? Because anything they do pass, you're just like, well, they're going to pass it, which I think is a good point that you brought up in terms of like democracy. They only care about democracy when it's only their version of democracy. But if something doesn't go along their way or their path, then all of a sudden it's like tyranny. It's like, oh, it's Westminster's fault, blah blah blah. It's like, but you say it's Westminster's fault, but you're also the same group of people who will ask them for favors or ask them for money at the same time, but then will blame them for like any problems you're going through just now. It's like, but like, there's just no consistency with them whatsoever. But
I mean, even the COVID stuff, like just like Boris Johnson would say one thing, then Nicola Sturgeon would do it a few weeks later. But yeah, it's like they did the same thing. Like, but yet the media in Scotland, if you remember, was like, "Oh, Nicola Sturgeon's is so great." You know, like they would think this was like Jesus Christ had been reincarnated as a woman with a bowl cut. You know, and she'd fluttered down. Oh, don't you worry, I've got you. Like, it was the same shit. Boris Johnson would tell you to jump. Nicola Sturgeon would tell you to jump. You know, but 3 weeks later or 4 weeks later. You know, and then she had the temerity because that was in 2020. That's how it was operating. Then in 2021, Sturgeon came out and she was like, "Oh, Boris Johnson, he's copying our policies." Oh, but it's like, are you fucking? Are you off your nut? Are you off your nut? She said that like February 2021. But yeah, all of 2020, she'd come out on her podium. You know the way, you know, and the way, you know, and she started at a podium and go. And then she's got her script in front of her that because she can't speak from the heart, like, and then, you know, and it would be, well, Boris Johnson said jump. Well, I want you to jump. Like, I don't know. And the worst part about it, though, about that whole thing was the fact that all across the UK, there was polls, or alleged polls, I don't know, but they were saying that Nicola Sturgeon was the most trusted politician across the whole of the UK. Like, what? I can't trust no woman with gel in her hair. For a start. Like, but she said nothing different to Boris Johnson at all through that whole debacle. But yeah, she's just held up to such high regard, and I don't get it. I mean, Mark Drakeford, he's irrelevant. Nobody even knows who he is, really. As for what's happening in Northern Ireland, who knows? But Nicola Sturgeon, everybody knows who she is. They think she's wonderful.
Yeah, it's very, yeah. I've noticed that as well. It's just very. I mean, dare I say, like cult-like behavior. Like if you honestly say anything bad about Sturgeon, even it could be like a constructive criticism, like, oh, she's bad because of because our healthcare is really down the drain. Our education system is absolutely horrendous. Like anything at all that could be constructive in nature, you do that, and then it's like World War III. Like, oh, how dare you talk bad about our comrade Sturgeon? Like, how dare you? She's the great first minister of this country, and it's like, have you all been paying attention to what's actually been going on? But mainly in this case, it's all to do with independence. They're like, well, she's going to bring independence to Scotland. It's like, right, so she's going to bring independence to Scotland, but then want us to rejoin the EU, which defeats the whole purpose of us becoming an independent nation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me started on like. Oh my God. No, you're not wrong though. And I mean, do you remember 2019? Do you remember the election? It was about November, December time, and then Sturgeon had the bus, the Stop Brexit bus.
Yes.
Remember that?
I remember that.
Then you fast forward to where we are now, and it's like, the Tories, they're democracy denials, or they're denying Scotland's democracy. What do you think? When you're driving about in your Stop Brexit bus, is that not denying democracy? Is that not the same thing? It's remarkable. Like, underneath that bulkhead is a really, really, really limited amount of brain cells in Nicola Sturgeon. That hair gel's going to her head, eh?
Yeah.
That's why my hair's dry, keeping the IQ alive.
Yeah, it just really comes off as when it with Sturgeon and the rest of the SNP, it's like rules for thee but not for thee type of idea. Right. So it's completely fine when she and her ilk does it, but when other people would do it, even if it's like a very justifiable way, it's like, oh, this is like end of democracy, this is tyranny all over again, like fuck Westminster. And it's like, but you do the very thing that you criticize Westminster for or claim that they do. Like, you do exactly that. But of course, it's completely fine when you do it. But when everyone else does it, then they're tyrannical douchebags, apparently. Like, you just can't make it up with it with this lot.
No, you're not wrong. It's the same with what they're saying now about IndyRef 2 in Scotland. Yeah. So if in the event Scotland obtains a referendum and Scotland wins said referendum, that's also a vote for rejoining the European Union.
Yep.
The reason for that is that Sturgeon herself ruled out a referendum at a later date for us to decide. So we win our independence, right?
Right.
She ruled out a referendum at a later date for us to say, well, we're now independent. Do we want to rejoin the European Union or not? She ruled that out, right? So
Mhm.
if you vote for yes in a referendum, you're voting to rejoin the EU, right?
Mhm.
Is that not democracy denial? If you think about it, because she's denied you the opportunity to decide whether or not you, as a Scot, want to rejoin the EU or not. So your choice is effectively remain part of the United Kingdom or rejoin the EU. That's democracy denial, is it
Right.
not? Is it
It
not the
does.
same thing?
Yeah.
It's the
Because
same thing.
yeah, because you're basically giving the Scottish people a false pretense of voting for independence because people think they would get actual independence. So basically, having complete control of the country, control of the borders when it comes to it. Hold on one sec. I'm just gonna get this link for Joe. Wait a minute. Here's the link, Joe. If you want to come on for a bit, here we go. So basically, having complete control over our own destiny, but of course, we'll see after that, maybe under the breath, will be like, but then also rejoin the EU, and everyone's like, wait, what? But I thought we were supposed to be an independent nation. So part of me does think actually want that to happen in terms of Scotland do become an independent nation, because that means we would join the EU. Because that way people would look at that and think, but hold on a minute here. I thought Scotland was to become an actual independent nation and not be part of the EU or anything like that at all. But there are people, I remember I was in an argument with some people about this on Twitter, where it was just the most autistic conversation I had with this Remainer. It was just absolutely incredible. So we were arguing about like what would happen if Scotland does if it were to become an independent nation, what would happen? And I would make a point about, well, I mean, it's not really going to become an independent nation because the SNP want us to be part of the European Union. And this absolute sped was just like, no, that's not what's going to happen. Scotland would become an independent nation. It's like, so well, actually, no. They said something like on the lines of "Meme Team, thank you very much for watching the show." They said something along the lines of like Scotland. Yes, I mean it would be an independent nation even if it were to join the European Union. I'm just like, how does that work? So even if that were to be the case, even the SNP themselves even said that Scotland, if it were to become a EU member, it would take up to 10 or 20 years to become a member or something to that effect. And even if we do become a member of the EU, then that would mean that we would have to take up the euro as currency and not use the pound
Eventually,
whatsoever.
yeah.
So it's like, again, how would that be benefit? Yeah.
They've actually gone a step further than that, though. I've got clips on my channel. Sturgeon admitting that every quote-unquote independent nation within the European Union, their sovereignty gets pulled. So even if you could make the argument that you're independent within the European Union, which is oxymoronic in and of itself, because you can't be independent within a union of nations, even if you were independent, you've got no sovereignty. So if you've got no sovereignty, are you independent? No. But this is that's what's most disgusting about the SNP. Like, you can talk about any fake nationalist party you want, like, Plaid Cymru or what the Sinn Féin or whomever you want, right? But the most disgusting party that I could think of are actually SNP, because they quote quotes from back in the day, historic Scottish quotes, and they'll talk about the sovereign people of Scotland, etc., while they simultaneously argue for us to rejoin the European Union under the pretense of independence, when they know themselves that would mean the eradication of our sovereignty. So they'll quote Robert the Bruce, they'll quote William Wallace, they will quote the Jacobites, they will quote Bonnie Prince, Queer Hawk Charlie, etc. But what they won't admit to the people is that in doing so, if we follow through in these acts, we will have no sovereignty. We will become subservient. And the S&P have gone a step further because some people will make the argument, oh, but like look at Hungary, look at Poland, they go against the status quo. Oh, do they? Aye, that's good for them, good for Hungarians, good for the Polish. The S&P, again, more quote channel, videos on my channel, they've said themselves that they wish to align every single policy to align with the EU. They're doing it now. They've got a bill that's been passed in the Scottish Parliament where every single thing that the EU do law-wise, the S&P will adapt our Scottish laws to apply. So effectively, I'd have to get the name of it up, and if need be. So let's say the European Union decided tomorrow that they're going to change the way that people drive on the road. So most in the European countries drive on the right-hand side of the road, right? So let's just say they say, we're going to change it. Okay, we're less. That's a really shit example. Let's just say we drove on the right side too, right? We're not in the EU, but we drove on the right-hand side of the road. But the European Union decided tomorrow that they're going to make it so everybody drove on the left-hand side of the road. The S&P would make it law in Scotland that we had to drive on the left-hand side too. And we're not even in the fucking EU. We're not even in the EU. They've got a bill. They have literally got a bill to align all policy and law in Scotland to align with the EU. And we're not even in the EU, allegedly.
Right. So, it's just.
I'll get the name up, but I won't share my screen. I'll just tell you the name of it.
Yeah, it's just looking at a comment from Opinionated Scotsman. The EU is putting the carbon tax soon, so it will be in Scotland soon. Then, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that. To be fair. And I did see there was another chap in the green room, but I think they left. So I'm sure they'll come back in just a short second. But once they come back,
my fault. I'll shut
up. I'll put that link in the chat again. And also, I just want to give a bit of a shout out to Martin W in the chat because he sent me a donation through PayPal, which I greatly appreciate. That. Just want to check that just now. They've sent me. Hold on a sec. It's a donation of £4.14, which is a pretty basic amount, I would say. So, Martin, thank you very much for that donation. Greatly appreciate that. And of course, people, if you want to send your donations through Entropy or Buy Me a Coffee or even PayPal, the links will be in the chat as well just now. Again, if you want to regard to that, so that would just give it a bit of a shout with that. And also, Joe, I don't know if you're still there, but the link is in the chat again if you want to come in for a short chat or two, and we'll definitely see what they're with that in this case. So that goes a message from Martin. You're welcome. Thank you very much. So yeah. So
I'm not gonna say anymore. I'm just reading out that it's called, for anybody that's interested, Alignment with EU Law and the Continuity Act.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we're capped. We're capped. But yeah, I'll shut up, dude.
I just got a message from Joe. I don't think I can come on as my signal is cat because I'm up in the mountains. Oh, that's a shame. No worries, Joe. But hopefully you can come on a later date with that. So, but yeah, there we go. So, Spiffy Acorn, hold on a minute. How much harder is it to get a driver's license in the UK than America? I heard Cy talking about a lack of drivers in PA. I mean, it's not. It just really depends on where you go. Well, at least in my experience, that it's not really that much harder. I don't think. I don't know what it's like in America, but whether it's easier in America or if it's harder in America. But again, I think that just really depends on the state you live in. But so from my experience, I don't think getting a driver's license in the UK is really that much harder. But I mean, from my experience anyway with that. So. No, what do you think, DJ? Do you think it's a lot easier or harder to get a driver's license in the UK, or?
I'd probably say now it is with all the COVID stuff, eh? But I don't know how they work now. I got my driving license when I was 21. I was doing license for about a year, but obviously with all the restrictions now, I don't know how it works now. Every time I drive past somebody that's doing their lessons, they've got the mask and stuff. So I don't know how it operates now, but I've never had an issue. I never thought there was an issue, in fairness. I can drive. Like, maybe it's different now, I don't know. I thought it was easier in America though, because you do it in like school, do you not?
I think they do driving lessons like school wise in America, but I think that's more to depend on the state you go to or something like that. Maybe anyway, but that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they all drive in automatic as well. They do their
Right.
lessons in automatic. The wee cheaters.
Yeah, that's America for you. Just got another guest in the green room just now, and it is. I'll just bring them in just now. It is X. Oh, they just left. Damn it.
What is going on here? Like,
I don't know. I mean, maybe a slight lack of connection, or like I don't know. But I'm sure they'll come back in a minute or two. But anyway,
do you know who I'm going to send the link to? I'm going to send it to Sensum. See if he'll come on. He's
right.
a legend. Right. You don't mind me? I'm going to send it to him privately.
Like I said, it's an open panel anyway. So if they want to come on, then please feel free to come on the show. So.
If he's on. I've messaged him on Telegram, see if he comes on. You know, but who was it? XL Viking there.
XL Viking, yeah, he was in there just now. I don't know what happened there, but speaking of Sensum Communum, I got a £5 donation through Entropy just now. Reads, Merry Christmas, Chief. Buy yourself something nice like a punnet of cherries, and always make sure you take 2 bites out of each cherry. All the best, mate. Well, thank you very much, Sensum. Greatly appreciate that. That's really
you should not have read that out like
why?
No, the cherry thing. He's been on the Scottish, by the way.
Shit.
Oh no, I'm not having that. Like, I mean, it's just jest, like, but he's
of course.
He's a dick. Like.
I think I see him in the chat just now. He's saying I'm not coming on. Or maybe he's busy with something at the moment. I mean, that's fair. No worries. Oh god, from Joe Marsh. Guess some trannies on be like another recent stream. Oh god, we're not gonna stir the pot, are we? We're not gonna. Well, for those that don't know what the reference to that might be, is to do with a certain Christmas type of streams that have been going on as of late on Odysee. That's all gonna say on the matter regarding to it. But yeah, so. Anyway, Ugly Truth, real quick. Buy some new wallpaper, Chief. I mean, that's not that bad of a wallpaper, but all right. Yeah, indeed. Just pure white.
Hamza Yusuf's raging.
Yeah. Oh, hold on a minute. I'll just get this gentleman into the stream right now. Here we have. Hopefully, their connection is working. Here we have Joe Marsh. Hello, Joe. Can you hear us just now?
No, not then. Is it?
Oh no! I can you hear us? We can hear you, Joe.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear us, Joe? Hello.
No, my signal is really bad because I'm at the valleys. Like, can you? I'm on now. Am I?
Yeah, you're on. We can hear you. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. All I was going to say was, if you can hear me, is you know, it's good that like I watched Woodland's stream earlier, his video, like, and you know, we got a lot of positive things to talk, you know, to end the year on, like, and I'm going to do another stream before the end of the year probably, but yeah, it's good that we can end it on positives, like people getting their Twitter accounts back, and you know.
I think Joe's still there.
I thought I was cutting my camera out to have a beer. I'm letting my hair down here, but no. I'm only on beer 2, by the way. Don't worry. But
no, that's all right. Don't worry about it. I think yes, people are saying Joe is gone. He's still there, but I don't know if maybe the audio might be an issue. But hold on, Joe's gone. Yeah. Joe, can you still hear us okay? No, he's gone. Damn it. Well, I mean, that was Joe Marsh on the show. I know that He's, as he says, in the valleys just now, so there might be a really bad connection at the moment. But as he said just now, he will be doing another stream just before the New Year's kick in. So I'm sure he'll make an announcement on his Telegram page at some point. So once that does come ahead, I'll definitely be sharing along with that. And while I'm at it, just read Rory Herbert's message here. Chief Moody, my wife failed her first driving test in the UK. To the surprise of the examiner, she then drove back home on her American license, perfectly legal. All right, interesting. I did not know that. Well, there is actually one story I can mention about the whole COVID thing with people doing driving lessons, because I remember, now I didn't take any lessons myself, but I remember there was a boy at some job I was working at with my brother at the time. And I remember he telling me that he was doing driving lessons as well, especially going through COVID. But the problem was he had to wait for like a few months, and then he had to drive or travel down to Manchester to take the test. And I'm like, how the hell do you have to drive down or travel down to Manchester to take it? And they said, well, that's just all part of the whole safety concerns with the whole COVID thing. And I'm just like, but that's just, I mean, I can maybe somewhat see that in maybe going up to Glasgow or Edinburgh, but not as far down as maybe Manchester. That's a bit of a stretch. It's not just to take or try to do driving lessons regarding to that. But I just really couldn't believe that. I'm just like, that's a bit of a stretch, that, isn't it? But anyway, so
Have you passed your test, Chief?
I've not started. No, I was supposed to start driving lessons. I've been meaning to do it. I was actually planning on doing it at the start of 2020, but the problem was that's when COVID happened and all the lockdowns were going on. And I'm just like, fuck. So you know, for next year with 2023, that's actually going to be one of my goals for next year. I'm actually going to start doing driving lessons. Maybe it might be a bit of an issue for me in terms of like age, because look, I'm 28 just now. I'm going to be 29 in a few days from now, so maybe that might hinder it. But I mean, again, you never know. But I'm going to see if I can try and start on that. So.
Age won't mess you about there, like.
Right.
It's the only thing I was on about earlier on is just the COVID stuff. I don't know how it operates now. But age, no. I mean, some people start their driving lessons in their 40s and whatnot, you know. So don't be disparaged by the age thing. Like, honestly, you'll be fine. If that's all you're worried about, you'll be fine.
All right, cool. In that case, I'm definitely going to make that as a top priority then, in terms of like, what was it I was going to mention in terms of goals for next year. And also another goal of mine would be, of course, to go back to the gym, maybe to try and lose a bit more weight, trying to gain a little bit of muscle, maybe at the same time, maybe learn some techniques in terms of fighting, and maybe obviously for like self-defense purposes and all of that. But I know people might think, well, what's the point in doing that? Well, I mean, obviously, because of the times we're living in just now, especially when it comes to politics, if there comes a point where if you need to defend yourself or people you care about, obviously you want to know a bit of a tussle kind of thing. But I mean, that's only just like goals I have going on just now for next year. What about yourself, DJ? Do you got any goals for next year at all?
No. I wish you got a whole itinerary. No. I just want to get. I mean, because this year, I've actually ended this year on a high, because I finally, as I said at the start when I joined, got a job that's on books. And I'm not going to dox myself and say what I'm actually doing, but I'm labouring for a trade. So I'm in the building sites, but I'm labouring for a trade. I'm on the books, getting good money, and that's what I've always wanted to do. I just want to be in the books. So all the money that I've wasted being a naughty boy, shall we say, like when I was here or there, in and out of unemployment and stuff, that's all by the by now. So I'm going to just save my money. You know, I'm letting my hair down a bit tonight because I'm on my holiday now. But no, that's it for me really. I'm aiming for a better car. And I know they're planning on banning cars soon, like 2030. But nah, put some money aside for my son, for a new car, and to go and see my missus next year. So 3 goals. don't really ask for much. Like,
no.
that's
No,
about it. Like,
yeah.
so I'm ending this year in a high. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
of course. Of course, like, I think you need to, especially with what people have been going through for the past couple of years with COVID. I mean, I think at this point, people definitely need a bit of a high type of ending when it comes to the year. I'm just going to also bring in another person onto the stream just now. Here is Exile Viking. Hello, Exile. Are you here just now? How are you doing?
Oh, it's a Saxon Viking.
Yeah. Hopefully they might sort their microphone or whatever the case may be, but I don't know. Well, let me see here. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're just sorting out their microphone. I don't know, but maybe. Exiled, are you there just now? Can you hear us?
It's the hair in it, Excel. You wish you had hair like mine, eh? Yeah. Fucking hell. I wish I had hair like mine. Oh wait, I've got hair like mine. Get it off you. What is going on tonight? Like, nobody's talking. Poor Joe Marsh can't he speak because of his connection, but everybody else is like, nah, my connection, like. What?
And he's gone. Damn it! Maybe
I fed him one.
Maybe it's some of the connection for some people, but we'll just have a look at the chat and see what's being said there. Let's see.
Let me see who else I can fucking add on my sphere.
Toby Radley saying my first car was a Mini bought for £60. Really, that much? Well, even like for back then, holy crap!
£60. What? How old are you like?
Let's see. My first car was a Mini as well from English Bulldog. Fair enough. Spiffy Acorn. I would like a Jag, either an old XK or XJ in black or green. That's fair. Sorry, excuse me. That's fair enough. Let me see here.
Toffee. How much is toffee? He hasn't been on days, but fuck it.
Let me see. Thank the Lord. Happy Christmas, all. Happy Christmas to you too, or Merry Christmas to you too, Tank. Thank you very much for watching the show. Let me see. Support Patriarch Alternative from English Rose. That's the link for their website. That's really good to see. Streaky Bacon. I learned with right, okay, that's fair enough, Streaky Bacon. Let me see here. Anything else come into the chat just now? No, that's fine. Okay. Spiffy Acorn, real quick. My first car was a piece of crap gold Chevy. Chevy Malibu. AC didn't work and the windows didn't go down in the summer. Oh, that's not ideal, especially with it being the first car and all. But yeah. Oh,
well, I wrapped my first car on a tree, so I'm surprised I'm alive. 80 mile an hour down a fucking tree, so. But it hit the passenger side of the bonnet, so that's the only reason I'm alive. It was a Ford Fiesta ST, so yeah, pretty gutted, but you live and let live. Eh?
Yeah, that's true. You live and let live. Yeah, that's very true. Let me see. I think that's up to date with the chat just now. That's fine and dandy. I actually cannot believe the time already. We're actually about 9 minutes until the show comes to an end, and I know that Wesley will be live at 7. But no, it's been fantastic. I mean, we've had 4 people on the show. Well, I mean, 3 people. I know Exile tried to get on, but I think he was having some connection issues from there. But no, it's been great. Had St. Harrison on the show. Had yourself, DJ, on the show. Had Joe for a little bit, despite the connection issues with that. Exile did come on, but again, I think he was having some audio issues. But again, I mean, it was nice for people to come along for tonight's episode. Of course, I'm saying that I'm not going to be coming off the show just now. Obviously, we got 9 minutes to go, but But it's been great. So no any questions come through with Entropy, which is fine and dandy. Although it had one donation from Sensum, which I greatly appreciate that. And yeah, it's been great. So with that, just a little reminder, folks. Unless DJ, do you have anything to announce in terms of like future streams or anything like that at all?
No, I did an impromptu stream earlier on, but that was just I had to get some stuff off my chest, but no, I'm not doing any more streams till next year. Hopefully, Scott's Armor will be back next year. If he does watch this, then I hope you're all right, Godgy, because I don't know where he is in truth. But if he does make a comeback, then hopefully it'll be me, no chance, in Scott's Armor next year for 2023. But no, apart from that, no, nothing really to show, Godgy.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I do hope that Scott's Armor does come back, because I think it was a long while since I last seen him did a stream, and I kind of was wondering what happened to him, kind of thing. But I hope he does. I hope he is doing okay, and I hope he does come back for next year, and having yourself, Scott's Armor, and also No Chance on that stream. So we'll just need to wait and see with that for next year. Of course, we'll just need to wait and see. So and with that, folks, I think we might as well just come to an end of tonight's episode. Again, it's been fantastic. That way, everyone's is on time to watch Wesley's stream, or I'm trying to think if there's any other streams going on tonight. Wesley's on at 7. I know that. I think John Davidson, is he usually live on a Tuesday night?
This is Thursday. But yeah,
Thursday.
Yeah, he's on it. He's on it,
right? I don't know why I think it's Tuesday. Right. I don't know why I think it's Tuesday, right? But Thursday, yes. So John Davidson will be on tonight, but there we go. So let me see here. Thank you for a great stream and guest. No worries, English Rose. Thank you very much for moderating the chat. Rose is on tonight. Well, I mean, if you want to watch that, then especially after the debacle of yesterday's show, then all right, fair enough. I am waiting for a lighter mask incident with fair enough for Streaky Bacon, so that's fair enough. Right. Well, before I go, just one thing to mention as well for tonight's stream. Obviously, as I said at the beginning of the stream, this will be my last stream up until maybe start of January, maybe early January, mid January. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll keep you guys updated with like any updates or anything like that at all on Telegram. So I would definitely say, if I can get this up here as well, definitely follow me on these other platforms. Follow my guests on all the other platforms as well. You can find DJ and St. Harrison and Joe Marsh on Telegram and on YouTube and on Odysee if you want to give them a follow with there. And I think I'll even also post the links in the description as well. Again, maybe just in case with that, but we'll definitely see with that. So I just want to say, DJ, thank you very much for coming along on the show. It's been a pleasure. I'll definitely have you back on as a guest in the near future, possibly even the start of next year, but we'll wait and see with that. But again, thank you very much for coming along, sir.
No, I appreciate it, bud. Honestly, I think this is the first time I've been on your stream, eh?
I think it has been, yeah.
Just thought I would, as I said, expose the hair. You know, I know a lot of people ask about it. I'm not prepared to show the physique yet, but this is as good as you're gonna get, like. But no, I appreciate it, like. So, and I'll just reiterate what you said there. Have a good Christmas, folks, and a good New Year, and don't do anything I wouldn't do, which, to be honest, isn't very much.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming along, DJ. You take care and have a Merry Christmas when it comes, okay?
Merry Christmas, Godgy. I'll leave you to say your outro and whatnot. Bye-bye.
No worries. Take care. Bye-bye. Excellent. Well, that was DJ or Resisting the Lies. I see English Rose. I know I put up on the screen just now, but please give Resisting the Lies or DJ a follow on YouTube. And I know he has a Telegram, so definitely follow him on Telegram as well. That would be much appreciated. And everyone else, of course, who came on, like St. Harrison, Joe Marsh. I know Exile Viking came on or tried to get on, but I think he was having some audio issues. But again, I appreciate for those that came along onto the show tonight. And it was fantastic. And one final thing to mention too, of course, if you like the show, please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. I don't know why you haven't done so already with that, but follow my other platforms like Telegram and all of that. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll definitely give you guys update on in terms of future episodes when January or February comes along. Because, like I said, there will be some revamps done with future PA shows, the type of thing, whether it be my show, PA Talk, or Tea Time with Sam and Laura, or PWR, or so on and so forth. There will be some slight revamps going along from there on out, from January or February time. It's not going to be major differences, but there will be a lot more emphasis on content produced by PA from now up until then, that type of idea with that. So, can we have an E in the chat for Rose, who has modded the stream on her own despite being a woman? Oh, for God's sake, Streaky Bacon, that's that's I'll put an E in there as well. Why not? Despite being a woman, I have to say, Streaky Bacon, as a feminist myself, I find that deeply offensive. But anyway, sorry, I'll just continue on from there. Thank you very much with Entropy when it comes to that. One final thing to mention too is, of course, if you like the stream, please like the stream. If you would like to donate to the show because you enjoy the show and of course give me your full support. I know Martin W has donated earlier on. Thank you very much for doing that. Of course, everyone else, if you would like to donate as well, whether it be on, sorry, that's the wrong link. Sorry, 1 second. Let me see here. I'll just sort that out in a minute. Let me just get this up here in a minute here. Because I think this might be people's ideal way of through donations or anything like that. So I'll just post it in the chat here just now. Of course, if you want to send your donations through it, whether it be through Entropy or through Buy Me a Coffee, or even as I put it in the chat just now, through PayPal directly, you could definitely do so if you want to. Any donation or any amount will be greatly appreciated, of course. Please, as I mentioned, please don't feel obligated as if you have to do that. It's only there if you would like to show your support through donations when it comes to that. If you want to show your support, great, that's awesome. If you don't want to donate, again, no problems whatsoever. I greatly appreciate Martin W for donating earlier on. I think it was £4.14, I think it was, which again, that's really good to see with that. And also Samsung Cunningham for donating £5 on Entropy, which I greatly appreciate that. So as I said, any donations through any of these donation links, that would be much appreciated with that. And with that being said, this will be the end of Mood of the Nation 2022. And if you enjoyed Moody-yule, if you, I guess, recall it, I don't know if I might actually open up a poll later on tonight if you want to maybe do this as like an annual thing as well, type of thing. But we'll see. With that being said, this will be the end of tonight's show. And I'm just going to see if I can maybe end an outro song. I want to see a Christmas song, sorry, but I don't know if it might get hit with a copyright. But I mean, right, if I were to put on a Christmas song, which song would you guys would like me to put on? Because obviously that might... Wow, hold on a minute here. Just received a £10 donation. I don't want to say the person's name, obviously, because it's their actual name. So whoever who did send the £10 donation, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. That's your kind generosity with that. Thank you very much for doing so. So is there any Christmas song you want me to put on? Because again, I want to see, it could be any Christmas song, screw it. Well, I know that might get hit with like a copyright strike, but you know what? Screw it. Any Christmas song, we could just put into the chat just now. I'd say the cheesiest Christmas song you can think of, Chief. Cheesiest one, right? Good point. Right, let me see. What would be the cheesiest? 1 second. Right. Okay. Yeah, we have to play that. I think maybe that might be the cheesiest. I don't know. Hold on. What would be the... Nah, maybe not that one. You know what? We might as well play this. I mean, it might be a bit of a risk when it comes to the copyright strike, but you know what? Screw it. It's Christmas. It's that time of year. We might as well just go out with a bang, especially this will be the last Mood of the Nation episode of 2022. So yeah, we'll play this. And as I said, keep you guys updated with Telegram and all of that, and all in terms of future episodes and whatnot. But everyone, ladies and gentlemen, I will also be posting some short clips on the 29th of December and also the 31st of December, or New Year's Eve, or Hogmanay. So definitely keep an eye out on that if you can. That would be much appreciated. With that, I'm going to end the show with this Christmas song. Some of you will know exactly what the song will be, but I think this might be the cheesiest one. I would definitely say with that. But anyway, so with that being said, thank you all very much for coming along. This is Chief Moody signing out. Have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year when it comes along. And I'll see you all in 2023. So take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you all, and good night. Take care.
When the snowman brings the snow, well, he just might like to know. Just put a great big smile on somebody's face. If you jump into your bed, quickly cover up your head. Don't you lock the doors, you know the sweet Santa Claus is on the way. Oh, well, I wish it could be Christmas every day. When the kids start singing and the band begins to play. Oh, I wish it could be Christmas every day. Let the bells ring out for Christmas. When we're skating in the park, if the snowflake paints it dark, then your rosy cheeks gonna light my merry way. Now the frosty falls appear, and they've frozen up my fear. So we'll lie by the fire till the sleep simply melts them all away. Well, I wish it could be Christmas every day. When the kids start singing and the band begins to play. Oh, I wish it could be Christmas every day. So let the bells ring out for Christmas. When the snowman brings the snow, well, it's just like to know. It's got a great big smile on somebody's face. So if Santa brings that sleigh, on the line the Milky Way, or some the name of the roof up in the snow that the ladies like to stay. I wish it could be Christmas every day. When the kids start singing and the band begins to play. Oh, I wish it could be Christmas every day. So let the bells ring out for Christmas. Okay, you lot. Take it!
Well, I wish it could be Christmas every day.
Christmas,
Baby, singing on the band begins to play. I wish it could be Christmas every day.
Christmas.